The sub $300 category is a very, very tight category of watches. There aren't very many quality watches out there for under $300, let alone an automatic GMT with an integrated bracelet. Today's watch is a lot of watch for the money. It's from a brand called Huber, and I have one hands-on. So let's flip the camera and take a look at a watch that costs under $300, and it's an automatic GMT. I love to feature ultra affordable watches here on my channel. I know some people will argue that this is an ultra affordable watch down in the comment section, but this is an ultra affordable watch. It is well below $300, and you are getting an automatic GMT with a sapphire crystal, and it is hand assembled in the United States. So for a watch to have those three features, usually they are a lot more expensive. This is an integrated bracelet, technically a sports watch. You are only getting 50 meters of water resistance. So that would be probably the only thing about this watch that I think doesn't really stand up to the design here, because you're only getting 50 meters. If this had a screwed-in crown and 100 meters of water resistance, even if it was just a little bit more money, I think that would be really cool. But with that being said, 50 meters is fine for a watch that you're going to wear on a daily basis. You're not going to go swimming with this, so 50 meters is definitely okay. You also get some really cool design elements on this watch at this price. You have a bi-colored 24-hour bezel. It is a stationary bezel, so you cannot move it. It is fixed. And then, of course, you have a Lume dial, which again, is not something that you see very often at this price point. You have very large indices. There's a very large triangle at the 12 o'clock. Right below that, it has their logo. This is Huber. That's the name of this brand. And then right above the 6 o'clock, it says assembled in the USA. Now, does it need to say that? Probably not. It says it in red, which matches that GMT hand, which is an arrow, but it probably doesn't need to say that. And then above that, it says GMT because this is a GMT. This is a 41 millimeter watch with a 12.8 millimeter thickness, and you have around a 48 millimeter lug to lug. It's around 52 millimeters if you include the female end links. You get a really nice bracelet on here, especially again, considering the price. It's signed with the brand name there. You have a double push button enclosure, which I think again is good because rather than getting a pressed clasp or something like that, I'd rather they do that. It makes a lot of sense. You have a screwed-in case back with what I assume is a mineral crystal, which is fine again at this price point. And then you have the NH34, which is reliable and serviceable. It's not a seagull movement. It's not something cheaper. This is a decent movement that you find in a lot of Seikos and a lot of micro brands that are honestly a lot more expensive than this watch. So I am impressed that they are putting a Seiko NH34 inside of a watch like this that costs $279. So this watch starts at $279. That is a really good price for a watch that has pretty decent specs. Also, you get a sapphire crystal. It is slightly domed and it is basically flush with that bezel. So it doesn't add to the thickness and it looks pretty good. You have fence post hands. There's Lume in the hands. There's Lume on the second hand and the GMT hand. And I don't know how well it is applied. You also have applied indices. Those are filled with Lume. And like I said, we will do a Lume shot towards the end of the video. You have the date at the 3 o'clock. The date takes the place of the index at 3 o'clock. And it kind of balances it out because obviously you don't have that index there. They didn't color match the date window, so it does balance it out a little bit. Speaking of Seiko, I have my Seiko SLA 079, a higher end Seiko with an 8L movement inside, which, you know, is their higher end movement. I love this watch. I think it's just a really good looking dive watch that is somewhat underrated, I would say. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's completely rated. I don't know. And there is the watch on my 7.5 inch wrist. Like I said, this is a 41 millimeter watch. You have a 12.8 millimeter thick. That's including the sapphire crystal on the front, which is pretty good. And then of course you have a lug to lug of 48.5, somewhere in that range. And then it's around 52 millimeters if you include these male end links right here. I think it looks great on my 7.5 inch wrist. You can see it's an integrated bracelet style watch. I don't think you could just use any strap on here because If you take this out, it would be a very small strap, so you would have to buy a strap from the brand directly. They are located in Las Vegas, and I believe the watches are actually assembled in Las Vegas, which is pretty cool. Well, there you go. Lume is decently applied across everything here. So you have Lume on that second sand, so you could see that it's working in the dark. You have Lume on all of the indices. They are large, so you have pretty good coverage there. And then all the other hands, even that GMT hand, has Lume. They're slightly less bright than the indices, but really not bad considering, again, this is a $279 watch that is assembled here in the United States that gets an automatic GMT movement from Seiko, a sapphire crystal, integrated bracelet design, and again, it's assembled in the United States. Pretty cool. Really good looking watch for well under $300. There's not many watches out there that offer this much for such a good price. Tell me down in the comments what you think of this watch. I want to hear from you guys. I'll add a link to their website down in the description. They make a few different colors of this. I think there's only one that's more expensive. I think it's like $289. That's the most expensive one. $279 is pretty much the price for all of them. Really cool. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section below. I want to hear from you guys. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very, very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. I'll catch you guys in the next video.